In this episode of Inside Monster Jam, you'll get an all-access pass to all the highs and lows at the start of the new 2007 racing season. Watch as the top teams struggle to stay ahead of the field with plenty of mishaps along the way. Sit back and enjoy your behind-the-scenes access on Inside Monster Jam.
Who's ready for Monster Jam? Hold on, baby! Here goes the camper!
Tom Ment's 7th World Championship. Dennis Anderson is the World Racing Champion.
The Minneapolis Metrodome would play host to the opening round of the 2007 Monster Jam Racing Series. The pre-show pit party was filled to capacity, allowing fans access to all their favorite trucks and drivers. Minneapolis would see its share of new faces as well, with young up-and-coming stars getting ready to do battle with Monster Jam legends Tom Mentz and Dennis Anderson. And what better way to kick off the new season than with a qualifying round matchup between Maximum Destruction and Gravedigger.
I wanted to come out charging hard for the 25th anniversary, you know, and I'd already warned everybody at the shop, you better get your tools cleaned up, everything organized, get some nuts and bolts on the shelf, because I'm going to be needing them this season. And I busted out of the door and fumbled and fell first thing.
And you can see what Dennis is talking about. A lot of sand in these turns here. Almost a loamy-style dirt, if you will. And he wants that cushion. He'd like to be able to pitch that truck in, set the truck, and then let it wash out and get a bite. And it looks like he has problems. Oh, and Mentz almost loses it.
Something's wrong with Anderson, though. He shut down. He took a really weird hit when they came over and got into the rollers at the side of the course.
I thought the truck broke, and we were using the two-way radios, and I could hear him unplug the radio. So I figured, okay, he's mad, truck broke, he's furious, getting ready to come start throwing stuff at me. But then when he didn't come out of the truck, so then I walked out to see what was wrong with the truck, and he was hurting pretty bad there. Did I do something wrong and I just hurt my driver? It's my job to make sure the truck's fine and safe for him to run it. And when he gets hurt and you start thinking, okay, you start second-guessing everything you did, make sure you did everything right. If I could have gone to Minnie and could have pulled that off, because I had Tom covered before the end of the mission there. And I don't think there was anybody else in that building that could cover Tom but me that night. And I felt like for as long as I'd been out of the truck, I was taking a pretty good spin around there, that I had myself in control. All the moons were aligned right. It was a weird hit because he side-slapped it, but we see he's done a lot worse, took a lot harder hits than he actually took there. So I think it was just a freak deal that we haven't found anything that can point us to what actually happened. So we're just one of the things that happens that we got to deal with. It's going to set me back a little bit, you know, because I'd already came from the summer of having a busted up hand, not, you know, missing a few of my summer heat races. I don't want to stay away from it too much.
Jam brought to you by the new F-Series Super Duty, built to work harder for you. The United States Air Force, celebrating 60 years of innovation in air, space, and cyberspace.
After the injury to Dennis Anderson to start the show, the crowd was anxious to get back to the racing action. However, mechanical problems would begin to plague some of the teams, starting with an Escalade.
We had electrical problems, and we were chasing it. We thought we had it fixed, and, you know, all the crew guys from all of the teams, they jumped in, helped out, and, you know, we thought we had it fixed, went out there one last time, and then our radio wouldn't shut off when they went to test us.
Hey, Junior, do you have the old-style black boxes in your trailer?
Yeah.
Radios?
Yeah, you need it?
I need them.
All right.
Hey, hill that he can push it down or not turn the motor over. The all-magnificent solenoids are cold. They're not hot at all. Yeah.
You know, for the safety of myself and the officials, they decided not to let me run, which was a great call on USHRA's behalf. And, you know, we had to live with that decision, and we didn't have time to fix it for freestyle. We just kind of ran out of things. So, you know, it was a rough day for me, rough day for Bobo, my crew chief. Man, he puts a lot of time and effort into it, and they did a lot of driving that weekend to get there. And like I said, it was a disappointment.
With Escalade removed from the track, Blue Thunder was now lined up for a solo qualifying run.
I feel good this year. You know, we got a new crew chief, you know, Bill Jr. I'm kind of excited, bringing some young blood into the sport, you know, so. But I'm real excited. I think we're going to have a real good year. I have a good feeling this year.
He just needs to get through these turns, and you can see what Dennis Anderson was talking about earlier. The sand is almost forming a rooster tail, and I don't know, he's going over.
That's the same exact thing that happened to Dennis Anderson, only exaggerated 10 times.
And he came around too hot in the corners and started sliding out. Once he overcorrected it, he was pointing towards the dirt ramps for the Pro Street trucks, and he just went across the cars and landed right on it and nosed right over. Didn't do too much damage. All it did was push the rolling bar back a little bit, change that, and then put the body back together as much as we could, and then go for a first round.
After minor repairs, Tony Farrell and Blue Thunder would advance to the semifinals, where he'd meet his former crew chief and now Monster Mutt driver Mike Wine.
Went out there in semifinals and racing Mike Wine, you know, my old crew chief, you know, and jumped that last jump and went into the corner and hit the rear steering and just shuts the truck off.
Yeah, Blue Thunder's got problems, and I think Tony Farrell thinks that one of the officials used the remote control to shut him down. See, his hands are like that up in the air. Either that or he's talking to his crew chief like, what happened?
They talked about it. Light never flies. No one heard anything on the radio. So we didn't do it. I shut the power off. Put the power back on. Put the power right back up. Somebody shut me down. Then he said he didn't see the light flash. No one heard it. Usually when we hit the button, it beeps on.
Problems against Monster Mutt was actually my fault. The chargers were not being charged all the way. That was my fault. He had no problem with that. It's just the truck shut off. It's the new thing going there. We're trying with new radios, and it wasn't wired correctly, and the batteries weren't full up, and the truck shut off when it hit the rear steer.
If them get so low, your batteries get so low, it will shut that radio off. And what happened when I used my rear steering, of course, that drains more juice out of your batteries, and that pretty well shut us off, and that pretty well killed us in the semifinals there. So it happens. We learn and we go on.
The Monster Jam Racing Finals in Minneapolis would see Mike Wine and Monster Mutt in his first Stadium Show Finals lined up against 7-time world champion Tom Meents and Maximum Destruction, who had proved to be too much on this night at the Metrodome.
The finals are underway, and he sure hammered it as soon as it went green. No problem with reaction time for Mike Wine, but it's Maximum Destruction who is flat flying around this head-to-head course in Minneapolis.
I'll tell you, if Meents makes a mistake, Wine is close enough to take advantage of it. He is not that far behind.
No, he's not. 2-3 truck lengths, but again, it'll take a Meents mistake to give Mike that opportunity because Tom Meents has been the man all night long, and he will cross the Ford finish line as the winner again. Tom Meents starts the new season off, winning racing in Minneapolis at the Metrodome.
Even with Dennis Anderson injured, the Gravedigger crew was determined to get the truck back on track for its diehard fans. Champion crowned, the Minneapolis crowd was on their feet, anxiously waiting for the start of the freestyle competition. Tom Meents was riding high after his racing victory. However, the Gravedigger team was still frantically thrashing on the truck.
We didn't find anything wrong with the truck. At the time of it happened, we thought maybe the seat broke, but I left to go with him, and everybody else was there. Chad Tingler was there,
with us, and they pulled all the seat apart, and they couldn't find nothing wrong with it, nothing bent or anything that was out of the ordinary, so they put it back together.
After finding nothing mechanically wrong, the Gravedigger team reassembled the truck, while at the same time adjusting the seat and the pedals to fit another veteran Gravedigger driver who just happened to be crewing for the truck that night. With the stadium at a fever pitch, freestyle got underway, with the young guns of the sport setting the bar high right from the start.
I had a lot of big competitors. I had Tom and Dennis, and I wanted to do well. I wanted to go big, and I went big a little too early. I made 2 hits and ended upside down.
Oh, no. That was not what she wanted to do.
I was more nervous and had more butterflies than any Supercross I'd ever ridden before because it was so new to me. It was such a huge challenge to go out and fulfill more so, I think, my expectations than everybody else, because everybody else knew I didn't have a lot of seat time. And I think there's guys that have been thrown in the seats that may even had less than me. But regardless if it's my first or my last, I want to be the best.
With the Gravedigger truck now set up to his personal specs, Chad Tingler strapped in to give the crowd what they came to see.
We just wanted to make sure everything was just right. We didn't have no problems with the seat or anything mechanical. We took the seat out, we checked it, made sure it wasn't broke or cracked or anything, and we rocked it, making sure it's always safe for us and the competitors. That's the biggest thing U.S. hot rod is safety.
The hours of tireless thrashing proved to be worth it as Tingler pulled Gravedigger onto the track for the first time since the qualifying round hours earlier.
Look at these leaps from Chad Tingler. What a cross-spread move. That's what so many fans love about the Tigger team. And Chad Tingler really kind of saves the day for Dennis Anderson. He couldn't come out, and he is thrilled that Tingler gives these Minneapolis Monster Jam fans that kind of a performance.
Fill in for Dennis. I hate to do it that way, but I know he's wanting his truck to run hard each and every time, and I'm more than glad to be running it in the ground for him. This feels great.
Tingler earned a score of 19, leaving plenty of room for 7-time champion Tom Mentz to grab the double-down win in Minneapolis.
Just duck that left arm out of the window. Oh, yeah, that's what you want to see. I mean, that's perfect right there.
Look at that. Oh, my. He destroys it. There's that fire you're talking about, yeah.
He's right beside him right there. He has to feel the heat of that, and he's bailing out of there, and wisely so.
Wound up catching on fire. It's minor fire, just trans fluid. No big deal. Messed up the trans a little bit. Had to send the Cohen transmission, get rebuilt, everything like that. Put a new trans cooler in there. We're ready to go.
Oh, it's really a great way to start the year, you know. Long year to go. It's going to be hard to win another double down.
As expected, the fans in Minneapolis were treated to another display of maximum destruction.